something that you just say, well, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Now, that's all right. If that's the best you can do, just mentally, or just say, well, yes, I see it. I believe that. I accept it. Then if you accept it on those bases, keep saying it over and over. Say it out loud. Say it over and over. Just keep saying, I'm healed. I'm healed. Say it until actually you believe it. And when you believe it, then it's going to take place. Don't have a negative testimony. Every time when you confess, well, I still feel bad today, I guess you go right straight back in the same rut that you was in the beginning. There's not a man or woman in here that's baptized with the Holy Spirit, but what would start your confession, I believe I've lost the Holy Spirit, I believe it's gone from me, I believe you'll go right down, you'll never, can you listen close, you'll never live above your confession. Jesus is the high priest of our confession, is that right? Now, Hebrews 3:1. Any scholar knows that same word, profession, is confession too. Same translation. Now, setting at the right hand of the Father to make intercessions upon what? Our confession. He can't do nothing for you until first you confess He's done it. See? When you accept it, now I wasn't saved, I'm not saved tonight because I get happy and shout. That isn't it. I'm not saved because the gift of God works through me. I'm saved because I have met the conditions that Jesus Christ required for me. I'm saved according to the Bible. See? Is that right? See? And not because I feel like I'm saved. Satan can whoop you around and stump on your feelings. But he can't when it's thus saith the Lord. See? He can't go that. He can't wait across that. That'll defeat him. Now, when you believed you were saved, sitting in your seat, out in wherever you was, you accepted it and began to confess and tell people you were saved. Well, you kept on saying, I'm saved. The people said, there ain't no difference in you. But you believed there was. Is that right? And you kept with your confession, and after a while it worked righteousness. All your neighbors and everybody knows you're saved now. Because you believed it, you confessed it. What happened? What changed you? He's the high priest of your confession, sitting at the right hand of the Father, making good what you're confessing. Now, that's the same thing it is by healing. You accept Him as your healer, renounce your feelings. It's not about the feelings, it's by faith. Say you're healed. Believe you're healed. Act like you're healed. Associate with those who believe in healing. God will bring you right out to a perfect soundness of health. Will not fail. Just an illustration. I'm trying to get faith here, you see, so I can see what the Holy Spirit will do here for us in a few minutes. Don't never look at symptoms. Lady, don't you look because you're sitting in a wheelchair. Well, this young fella here, that's no more to God than the heel of toothache. Don't make a bit of it. But now look, He's a high priest of your confession. Now, if there's any fellow that ought to have had a bad case of symptoms, would have been Jonah when he was going down to Nineveh. He was backslid, going to Nineveh, or to Tarshish instead of Nineveh, on the wrong ship, going the wrong way, backslid, running from God, in a stormy sea. They tied his hands, feet, throwed him out of the ship. He went out into the sea. A whale swallowed him and went plumb to the bottom of the sea to rest his swimmers. It was all fished up. There he was, tied hands and feet, backslid, a stormy sea, many fathoms deep in the sea, in the belly of a whale. If there's anybody should have had symptoms, it was Jonah. He looked this way, it was the whale's belly. Everywhere he looked, it was the whale's belly. But he refused to look at it. You look, say, I'm sitting here. Somebody else looks, say, well, the doctor told me I had heart trouble. I had arthritis. Refused to see it. Refused to believe it. That's right. Jonah said, there are lying vanities. He said, once more will I look to your holy temple. Told God. Because when Solomon dedicated that temple, he said, if thy people be in trouble anywhere and look to this holy place and pray, then you hear from heaven. And he believed, Jonah, believed that God heard Solomon's prayer. And he started saying, I'll not look at this whale's belly. I'll not think about my backslidden condition. I'm looking towards your holy temple and making confessions. And God sent oxygen down there and kept him alive for 3 days and nights and put him right in Nineveh where he belonged. Well, if Solomon prayed that prayer, and if there's no one here that's in the condition or halfway like Jonah was, You can't got nothing like the symptoms he had. Well, if he, in that condition, could look to a temple where it was built by hands of a man, and an earthly being, a man, Solomon, sitting and praying, and could have faith in Solomon's prayer, how much more ought you and I tonight, sitting here, look to the throne of God where Jesus stands at His right hand with His blood there to make intercessions on your confession. Just refuse to have the symptoms.